Hi there, welcome back. This is Angela. I'm so excited for you to have you in this episode because I hear this all the time and I was, you know what, I need to make a video about it because there's a lot of things that go in place here. Why sell your home and pay a realtor when you can do it on your own? Well, in this video, I'll be real with you and we're gonna go through the advantages and disadvantages of doing so. In this way, you will be able to make a more educated decision for yourself, and that's why I'm here. So, without further ado, let's begin. Welcome to Miami.
Let's go!
Okay, you lived in your house now for a while and only you know why you wanted to sell it, right? Well, I'm sure it was a big step in your life when you bought the property in the first place. You might remember some of the excitement of it, but also some of the anxiety that came with it. Or perhaps, let's say you forgot about it because you already lived in there for so many years. So I'm just reminding you of all of this because if you're thinking about selling your home by yourself, you better be emotionally prepared for what might happen. Here we go. Let's look at the benefits. And most of them you already know. Number one, you don't pay a commission. Self-explanatory. You either cut your own hair or you go to a hairstylist, and I'll just leave it like that. Next, as a homeowner, if you sell it by yourself, you could attract more buyers just by listing your house at a lower value. And I know many of you don't really want to do that, but sometimes sacrifices need to be done if you want to sell fast. Next, you can negotiate with the buyer directly. Now, that can be a benefit or can be a disadvantage depending on how good you are at negotiations. You might be good, you might be bad, but sometimes just having someone else speak out for you, negotiating for you, it gives them that authority, it gives them more power rather if you were to speak for yourself. Next, you have complete control over the entire transaction and the entire process. You decide pretty much everything. So that can be a good thing, that can be a bad thing. It's up to you if that's something that really matters to you. There's a lot of things that go into a real estate transaction, so you're the one taking care of handling everything. Do you know how to handle everything? Good. You don't know how to handle everything? Not so good. So next, most likely, this is another thing that you won't have to do probably any repairs or you won't have to do any staging to the property whatsoever. And that's things that most of the homeowners will do because they don't think and they don't even want to spend more money when selling because the only thing they're thinking is to make more money rather than put more money in. So that's about it. Nothing else. There's no other benefits that I'm thinking of. No commission. You're in control, you talk to the buyer directly, you handle everything, you take care of everything, you're not doing anything to the property. Nobody has to tell you what to do, you're just doing it at your own pace and you're selling at your own price and you sit on the market at your own will, how much you want to sit. So that's about it, nothing else. Now, let's look at the other side. What are the benefits of using a realtor and the disadvantages for you not using one? And I understand completely that paying a portion of your sale to a realtor seems completely undesirable, and there are many reasons for that, but there are also many reasons why not using a realtor. And I'm not talking here about any realtor, I'm talking here about a good realtor that knows how to sell a property. There are many reasons why not using one is risky for you and comes with less money in your pocket, even though you sell it yourself. Even after paying the realtor's commission, still comes out of your pocket less. Okay, so on average, realtors sell for about 24% more value than you would on your own. Now think about that for a moment. 24%. Why you think that is? For many reasons. That's why we have a license and you don't. We can sell more. We are salespeople. That's what we do. We're salespeople. We know how to talk. We know how to negotiate. We know how to bring the price up, so we can bring you more money in your pocket. And that's a national statistic. It's not something that I'm saying, because you can actually go on Google right now, search it, and see that I'm right. And you'll find out by yourself. I don't need to tell you that. Now, what's the catch? The catch is that not any realtor, like I mentioned. Just because someone calls themselves a realtor doesn't mean they can get you the more money and they can protect you against any risks that you may have as a seller, because there are many. You have to be aware of them. It's like you have to know who you're searching for. You have to know who you work with. You have to know who you trust. It's like dating. You know, you have to trust your instincts, because your instincts never lie. They never lie. Well, if you take that into consideration, for example, the fact that realtors sell on average 24% more in value than you would by yourself, well, that's alone is 4 times higher than the average commission that they will charge for their services. So that pretty much pays for itself already. So that's that. Most of the people have no idea of this, and they think that if I go without a realtor, I'm gonna save more money along the way. But how about the other things that come with the transaction? Real estate contracts. This is a very delicate matter. And I'm not saying this just to scare you. I'm just saying you to make you aware. Because most people are not familiar with real estate contracts, because most of you are either doctors, lawyers, CEOs, celebrities. You don't even deal with real estate on a daily basis, and you shouldn't. And that's okay, because that's not your job. You're really good at what you're doing already, so that's why we realtors are here in place. We learn the contracts, we know everything that has to take place. So there are many liabilities that you as a seller might be responsible for, and that can be very costly to you. And if you don't know what you're doing in that contract, that's gonna be, that's something, I don't know if you want to deal with that. An experienced realtor, most likely, he has a lot of knowledge and experience and expertise in this field. We know complex transactions. We know, for example, if something happens along the way, not every transaction is smooth. Every transaction is different. Every transaction comes with different challenges. You are not experienced in contract. You are not experiencing challenges in transactions. You might come up with something that, what you gonna do next? What you gonna do next? What's the next step? What you have to do? Well, that's where we come in place. That's what we are there for, to protect you and to protect your interest against buyers, to have your risks as low as possible. Do you know what to write? When to write? Do you know what to do with your deadlines? Do you know how to calculate your deadlines to make sure they're right in your contract and benefits you and not the buyer? What happens if those deadlines fall through? Do you know what to do? Do you understand all that the contract implies or it says? Because I understand you might take a lawyer and they explain it to you, but do you know what that is? And actually, if you're not selling with a realtor, at least please have a lawyer. Have a lawyer, have someone explain you that contract. What happens? Do you know the differences between a check mark in the contract versus the other? What happens if I put a check mark here, or what happens if I put a check mark there? What's the difference? What is it? Do you know it? You might not know it because you're not doing it every day, and you shouldn't even know it. That's not your thing. Why would I want to be a lawyer and protect myself in court if I know nothing about law. Well, although I have a law degree, but I'm just saying, like, why would I go and cut my own hair, for example, if I don't know how to do it and I don't even see my back? I might do it crooked. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do things that you're not expert in, especially when it comes to your money. You want to save money, save it the right way. Don't save money cutting corners, because that's what you're doing by cutting a realtor. And I'm not saying this because I am a realtor. If I was not to be a realtor, I would still use a realtor. I am a little bit biased because I am a realtor, but even if I was not to be a realtor, I would still recommend you to use one. Let us help you. We're not your enemy. A lot of people see realtors as enemy, and I understand why, because quite frankly, we are over 50,000 realtors in Florida alone. How many of them are good realtors? How many of them know what they're doing? Probably 70% of them know just as much real estate as you do. And that's a fact. And the other 30%, the other 20%, because 10% are good, but the other 20% never study anything else about real estate besides when they studied for license, and they have no idea how the market shifts, how the market changes, what to do with the market. Like, there's a lot that goes into this. We need to study every day to keep up with the market, to keep up with what's going on, what is happening in this current. You see what's going on right now. I don't have to tell you. Everything is upside down like this, like a roller coaster. The interest rate is high to the sky. How do you call it? The black hole? It's going to go in the black hole and you won't even see it anymore. It's so high. So you know what's going on. With all of the above, I understand not using a realtor, for example, what we had in 2020, when after COVID and during COVID, when it was a seller's market, a full seller's market. When you would sell by yourself, not even doing anything. You don't even have to put your house for sale and you sell it. That's what I'm calling. And even then, you still need someone to watch what you're doing in that contract. Because you don't want a smart buyer to come in and do the contract for you in their favor. Because that's what they're gonna do. They come in with a realtor, most likely. Because most of the buyers, the law is going to change soon, because that's how I feel it. Because now, any realtor that works with a buyer, that buyer does not pay that realtor a penny, nothing, zero, nada. That's going to change soon. That realtor gets paid by the seller, by you. So if your buyer, even though you decide not to sell with a realtor, your buyer will come with a realtor. And guess what? What's gonna happen then? You have no realtor, your buyer has a realtor. Think about that for a moment. You go in court to protect yourself. You're by yourself and someone else has a lawyer, a good lawyer. How many chances do you have? I'll let that sink in for a moment. Because what you're doing there, you're putting yourself at big risk. Number one, you're going to lose money 100%, because that realtor is going to knock you down. It's going to knock you down no matter if it's a newbie realtor. Right now, they took their license, they're going to knock you down because they already know more than you. So I'll leave it as that. You don't want to be in that position, someone else to negotiate and take away what you have, what you worked so much to save and have. If you really want to sell it by yourself, is it worth it? This is your only investment. This is your only property. You worked 30 years in your life to make this happen, to have it, and now selling it by yourself. An experienced realtor looks at that contract once. So this is the thing, we as realtors, we look at a contract, somebody submits an offer for your property. We look at a contract, we read that contract in diagonal. It's so fast you have no idea, because we already know what to look for. So we understand that language, and we understand. So we look at it like, okay, yeah, I know, I understand who this buyer is, and as a matter of fact, I know who the realtor is and how experienced that realtor is in completing this type of contracts. Because think about it, by me looking at the contract, I understand that that realtor is experienced or is a rookie. And that's very valuable information when you need to negotiate, because now if I know that the other buyer has a rookie realtor that just got into the business and has no clue how to write a contract, they just put things in there that they have no idea, how valuable is that to you? I bet it's very valuable, because now I can negotiate with that realtor like cookie cutter. I'm gonna cut through chase. There's nothing can stop me, right? If it's an experienced realtor, then But that's very valuable information if you think about it. How valuable that will be to you, knowing that you're dealing with a rookie realtor. Piece of cake. Exactly. Piece of cake. Oh, my battery is just... Next, a good realtor will know how to pre-qualify your buyers, so you don't get to the closing table and your buyer is unable to close because he doesn't have his finances in order. You as an owner might get a pre-approval letter from a buyer saying that your buyer is pre-approved to close on this property, but do you really know what to look for when receiving those, and how to pre-screen your buyers so you know that he or she is not just wasting your time, holding your property from being on the market? Because the more your property is out of the market while has been already on the market, you lose money every single day. You lose money. And that money is the money you thought you were saving by not paying a realtor. The more you see it on the market and not selling, the more you lose, because you pay more taxes on it, you pay more everything that is about that property. Plus, your property loses value sitting on the market, because now buyers come in and say, what's wrong? What's wrong? You seem like a perfect property. What's wrong? What is there? Why didn't you sell so fast? Why are you sitting on the market? And now you have to come in and explain, oh, yeah, we had a buyer and this and that. And why? Because the more you talk, you lose the game. The moment you talk more than you should, you lose the game, you lose money. And I'm sure you're not in the game of losing money, because that's what you're here for. You're selling it yourself. You don't want to lose money. I'm trusting. I know you don't want to lose money. I know it. That's what you're here for. You want to see the difference. You want to see what should you do. You'll decide by the end of this video if whatever you want to do. But I hope you will make a good decision by the end of this video. Next, let's see another advantage or disadvantage for you not using a realtor. Selling with a realtor is more likely to sell faster, like I already mentioned, sell for more money and sell faster. And I'm not talking here about the lazy realtor, the one that come in, puts a sign in your front yard and puts your property in the MLS and prays to God that buyers will show up and sell it and not do anything about it. Anyone can do that, you even. There are actually brokers out there who will allow you to put your property in the MLS for a flat fee. So there we go, pay $100, $200, $300, I don't know how much they charge. Put your property in MLS so every other realtor can see it. Easy fix. But apparently that alone does not sell your property, because if it was, everyone would be doing it. People are still doing it, but they're sitting longer on the market because there are other things that implies with marketing. You're not a good salesperson just putting a sign for sale. There are salespeople for a reason, because we need our voice. We need our knowledge in the marketing. But you need extensive marketing. And by extensive, I mean active and passive marketing strategies. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, Well, subscribe to the channel, because if you want to learn more, that's going to be my next episode that I'm going to make. I'm not sure if it's going to be the next one, but it's going to be following up. So follow up with me in the future, because you will learn how to do active and passive marketing strategies. Because most of the realtors, 90% of the realtors, if not more, they only use passive marketing, not active. Active is a completely different story that not many people are doing because they're lazy. Very lazy. Put it there, put a sign, go to sleep. Well, that's not the job you signed up for. And that's not the job you want to pay that commission for. And that's not the job I wouldn't pay either. Why would I? Why would you pay someone to put a sign on your backyard, which you could do, and pay someone putting your property on a website that you could do? What else are they doing for you? If they're not doing anything extra, they're not worth your while. So I understand why you don't want to pay a commission, because you haven't met a good realtor yet. You haven't met the right realtor for you in your area that knows your area. Can be any realtor. It cannot be any realtor. Keep saying it, but I want to say it because I want it to stuck in your head. It cannot be any realtor. Because any realtor are not worthy of your commission, of the money that you pay from your property. Then using a realtor, besides saving you a lot of money, trouble, it saves you a lot of time. And time is very valuable. Maybe you don't see it now, maybe because you're young, or maybe because you don't value time as much as I do, for example. But I mean it. Buyers will be calling, and they will want to see your property, and you will have to be available non-stop. It doesn't matter if it's a Saturday, a Sunday, you will have to be available for showings, and you will have to prepare your house for showings every single time. There is a way of doing that as well, and I actually have a checklist of things that you need to do and have ready before every showing. So feel free to send me an email and I'll share that with you for free. Now, because we are realtors, we are doing this every day. We discussed that. It's our job. We have, besides the contracts and the marketing and being a good salespeople, not all of us, and also not all of us, we have a good eye for detail. And when I mean a good eye for detail, I mean that we come into your property. We don't even need to spend more than 5 minutes looking at everything you have. And it's so easy for us because looking in there, it takes us so little to tell you exactly what you need to do to your property to make it more appealing to your buyers, and also things that you need to fix or do to bring you more value, more money in your pocket. Because that's what you need, that's what you're looking for, and that's what you want ultimately. Every homeowner wants that. If they only knew what to do with their property, they would, but they don't, because that's not their job and that's not their field that they work in. So I understand that if you don't know what to do in your property, you can still learn. Go Google it. Google is the father of everything. He knows everything. Neighborhood by neighborhood might be different what's valuable in your neighborhood compared to what's valuable in another neighborhood. That's what you need, someone local, or someone not even local, someone that knows your area. And these skills that I'm talking here as realtors, they come with a lot of practice and expertise, because this is not something you're born with. Nobody's born a realtor. We learn. Nobody's born being a doctor or a lawyer. They learn and they practice. That's how they become a good one. Because you don't want to be any lawyer or any doctor or any realtor. You want to be a good one. What's the point of being if you're not being the best of what you can? I don't see the point in that. So that's that. Also, the reason why a realtor can bring you more money to the table, even after paying the realtor's commission, sometimes can be from great negotiation skills, intense contract knowledge, like we already spoken, and then outstanding marketing performance that attracts you the right type of buyers. After all, how many buyers do you really need to your property? You just only need one. If you can only find one buyer that gives you the exact amount that you need, that's all you need. You don't need more. How many people is going to live in that house? One family, one buyer, one that is able and willing to pay your price. We're looking for one person. But to find that person, well, that's where the connections come in and the expertise come in. Because it's easy to say rather than do. We as realtors, we know targeting. We know how to target the right people. We know exactly who your property is best for, and we look to target exactly those people, and not just targeting those people, but to target those people, those types of people that are looking for properties right now and they have the budget for it. Because we don't want to waste our marketing budget and strategies for everyone. If you're doing it right, you're targeting the right person that is going to come at you. On top of that, all of the above, a realtor knows the market changes in your area and has a lot of professional network, because realtors, we constantly interact with each other, and we know about properties and the hidden gems that we all have, and that's why mostly we sell faster. Like it or not, we do know a lot of people. Well, we are in the people business, so have you gone to somewhere and not met a realtor sitting right next to you? I'm sure you did. We're everywhere. We are in the people business, so we go where people are. But I'll be honest with you, because walking around and just going places alone as a realtor, for a realtor, it won't be enough. Because if you're not good at what you're doing, it's pointless of meeting people, because they will never use you for anything because you're not good at anything. And think of it like this. Perhaps you won't sell another property in many years to come, unless you're an investor that is flipping houses. But if that is not the case, I hope you will make the right decision. And if you are to choose a realtor, make sure you know how to choose a realtor. And I'm gonna do another video on that, so stay tuned for another video coming up, because you want to know, like I mentioned, we're so many realtors, you only have to choose one. We're over 50,000 realtors in Florida alone, and not all of them are what you need. You need to know what questions you need to ask. You need to know what to look for, what are the red flags, so you can make a more educated decision, and make an educated decision that's going to help you selling your property and perhaps buying your next one. If you are in Miami and you're looking to sell, feel free to connect with me. I'll be more than glad to give you some free advice. I will help you as much as I can, because that's what I'm here for. If you are, for example, in another state, connect with me regardless, because like I mentioned, we are in the people business. I might know someone in that area that I can recommend to you, someone good. Well, I appreciate you staying so long in this video. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye! All right. Oh my goodness, this was a long one. But you know, this episode, it was because I knew what I was about to talk. I knew what I was about to talk. No, I knew. Okay, so this episode was very interesting because I was so excited to talk about this topic specifically, because there are so many people that don't know what they don't know. And it's hard when you don't know what you don't know, because you don't even know if you're doing the right thing. You think you're doing the right thing. So I was excited telling all of this, because I was thinking, if I were to be in a homeowner's shoes, if I were to be in your shoes, having a property to sell, and let's say I'm not in real estate, I'm not involved in real estate, even though I have the broker's license. Let's say if I were not to have the license, if I were not to be involved in real estate, what would I be doing? I'll be Googling, should I pay a realtor or should I not pay a realtor? Yeah. Talking too much. And my battery's dying. Bye. I'm done.